Have you guys ever been on YouTube and you see all these people that say, aim science, this is scientifically the fastest way to improve your aim. And then the most scientific thing they say is, sleep is important. If you sleep, you get better. Well, if you're as sick as that as I am, here's some real aim science and bro science to getting the best aim in the shortest amount of time. Now, we're mostly going to talk on 3 topics. The first one will be focus, the second one will be diet and supplementation, and the third one will be all about aim training. So welcome to episode 5 of Shotty's Yap Session, also known as the greatest background noise. First up, focus. When someone says focus, it's a really hot topic. We always talk about, oh, I can't focus, I can't do this, oh, I have ADHD, I have ADD. So as the Andrew Huberman fanatic I am, I decided, let me look up why. Let me see how it works. Let me see how we even focus. So through a lot of research and a lot of watching his videos and a lot of my own research, looking through papers and things like that, it seems like there are only really 3 things that cause focus. And we're going to go through all 3 of them, how they work, and I'll even share with you guys near the end of this category a quick trick that you can do at home that will release all 3 of these chemicals, so you won't even need to do anything special whenever you want to focus. All you have to do is do that one thing, and now you're able to focus. Now, before I explain to you what the chemicals are, you guys need to understand, focus isn't something that, bang, I could do it perfect, I'm focused, I'm good. There's very few people that are able to do that, and most of the time it isn't really focus. It's kind of just, they're kind of just disciplined to say, you know what, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to do this, I'm going to spend time on this. It's not really, they're focused or they're hyper focused on a topic. They're kind of just doing it because they said they would do it, or they hold themselves accountable to do it. And when people start talking about focus, they always say, oh, I can't focus very long, or I can't do this, I can't do that. When the science of it clearly shows you can only focus, normal people at least, 90 minutes about at a time. Sometimes less, sometimes maybe a little more, but in general, 90 minutes is a good baseline for how long someone can focus. And then after that, they usually need a deload time where they stop focusing, they completely relax, they completely stop doing anything for a while to deload and be able to focus again. And honestly, when I first heard this, I was like, that makes so much sense. Even when I'm working on these videos or whenever I'm doing homework when I used to go to school, it was like, I'd sit there, I'd get something done, I'd forget what time it is, and then I see 2 hours later, I look back at the clock and then I want to take a break or I want to get off, and I just lay in my bed. It's the best thing I found. I just lay down, maybe I go watch YouTube or something for 20 minutes usually, and afterwards I feel refreshed almost. It's not like that one bit of focus takes me out for the day. On top of the 90 minutes of focus, people don't really realize that focus isn't binary. Focus isn't, I'm focusing, I'm not. I'm focusing, I'm not. It's on and off. You can focus for an hour, but you really only focus for 50 minutes because you had downtime for 10 minutes. You know, it doesn't mean that you can only focus for that hour straight and it has to be the whole time, or else you're not focusing. Focus can go in and out. Just like if I'm focused on a video game and then my friend talks to me and I'm trying to think up a response while I'm focusing, it'll break my focus. It doesn't mean I'm not still focused on it, but it'll turn off for a second. My focus will stop for a little bit. Maybe I'll think of a response in my head before I respond, and then I'll get back to focusing. It's not just focus, oh, it's off, I'm done, I gotta go take a break. Now let's get to the first chemical needed for focus. The first one is acetylcholine, better known as stress. Our body needs some kind of stress to focus. But what stress does, it's sort of like a spotlight on our brain. It focuses on one specific part. So let's pretend I'm focusing on my hand-eye coordination, but I'm stressed out while learning my hand-eye coordination. Acetylcholine will focus on one specific part of my brain, the part that's stressed out from me aim training. Let's say, I don't know, the hippocampus, whatever it's called. Whatever part of your brain is important for hand-eye coordination. It'll focus on that part, but you still need the other 2 chemicals if you want to be able to focus. Now, stress is a great teacher. That's why some people teach their kids by letting them hurt themselves. Like you see, a kid will touch the stove. Once that pain happens, your brain will light up and say, you know what, let's not do that again. That wasn't a good idea. But that's stress. That's stress telling us, yeah, you know what, I don't like that idea. I'm gonna go touch my toys. That hurts a lot less. So if you want to learn something, which we'll get into much later, you want to be stressed out. Stress helps you learn everything. There isn't a single thing that if you're stressed, it won't help with, or you won't learn skills better from being stressed out. Of course, there's too much stress where it starts causing oxidative stress on your body and messes up your hormones. It causes a lot of problems with you. But in general, stress is great for learning things. But you guys know what else is great for learning things? My little stinker girl who loves me and wanted to come see me. Look at little stinker girl. She was bothering me. She was standing in front of the camera. Well, not the camera, the light behind my camera, so I couldn't record. Yes, she was. If you learn anything new from this video, or if you like this cat, please subscribe. Subscribe for her. You know, it'll be sad if people click off that part of the video. Now, for the next chemical. The famous one, everyone knows what this chemical is. Even if you don't care about Andrew Huberman or science or any of it, everyone knows what dopamine is. Now, dopamine has a lot of different ways people remember it. Some remember it as the pleasure hormone or happiness or this or that. But in this context, we're going to talk about dopamine as the motivation hormone, which causes us to get up or get something done or do something. And the reason why is, if you want to focus on anything, you need to have some form of motivation towards it, which means you need some form of dopamine in your body. You need decent regulation of your hormones to focus on anything. That's why some people, especially when you're depressed, you find it very hard to get anything done. You can't work out, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't focus on your homework because you don't have that dopamine. Now, I'll probably have to cut this out, but there are plenty unethical ways people increase their dopamine, but that's the second hormone you need to do. So far, we need stress and we need dopamine. But for the final one, we need epinephrine, which is adrenaline. This ties in with acetylcholine or stress because it makes us alert. Now, you have all three of those chemicals, you know what they are, and it's like, okay, maybe I could get stressed by doing this, maybe I could get adrenaline by doing this, maybe I could get dopamine by doing this. How do I get all three? How am I supposed to focus? And why is focus so complicated? The best way it's actually, apparently it was a real popular thing way back in the day. I think, you can't quote me on this, but long story short, back in the day, there were people that whenever they achieved something or whenever they learned something new, they would do a cold plunge. It would help them retain that knowledge or remember what they did or focus on that. And that's what I'm going to tell you guys to do. Now, I don't tell you to do a cold plunge because that's torture. But let's say you take a shower. Now, I know, rare thing. Shucks, I had to take a shower for this. You should have seen me. I was like, it was like the SpongeBob episode. Am I ugly? Had the stench coming off my body. No, but after you take a shower, before you want to do something focused, like you want to work on something or you have a project you want to do, take the cold water for the shower, crank all the hot water off, and stand there for a minute. You'll shiver, you shake, you'll suffer, but there's a whole science for cold plunges or cold showers, which if you want me to make another video, comment down below. But cold showers or cold plunges, they are amazing for everything. Alertness, awake, learning new habits, focus. So all you have to do, start out slow, do 1 minute. Put your favorite song on that's only like 2 minutes long, skip a minute in or whatever, and let it play out. Sit there and suffer till it plays out. You will feel like you're revitalized. You feel like you can see in HD because you're so awake, you're alive. It might be a little torture, but it works. It will release all of the chemicals. Every single one you need, it will release, and you'll be perfect. Now, before we get into the next topic, which is diet, I don't think I need to tell you guys in your diet, you need 8 hours of sleep, you need water, and surprising thing about water, even if someone in my Discord mentioned it, your water intake is almost linear to your performance in everything. Your reaction time, like how fast you can do certain skills, all of it is pretty much directly linked to your water intake, so you need to drink more water. Next up, diet and supplementation. Now, maybe I should start a production line. I make high quality gamer sups. I'll make like a focus blend and stuff like that, you know? No, but for your diet, I'm not actually going what you eat really, because there's so many people that we can't really control what we eat, especially because a lot of younger kids, we're eating what mom and dad makes, you know? Like, we're not going to be able to say, Mom, actually, I need salmon tonight because I have a tournament coming up, and did you know that the omega-3s in salmon actually help my aim? And they help me focus. That's, first of all, if you're allowed to say that, and that works, yeah, you go, bro. Good for you. But there's a few things that if you can get in your diet, I do want you guys to try to. They are fish, avocado, algae, and in general, omega-3 supplements, things like that. Because omega-3s is, if you guys don't have any prior knowledge on the research behind omega-3s, they're almost directly correlated, along with sleep, to longevity. Living longer, overall health, joint health, everything. Omega-3s are super drugs, if you guys don't know. Omega-3s are like the most mandatory thing, especially for older people, that you could ever think of. Your brain health, your skin, your joints, your everything. So if you guys do one thing, buy an omega-3 supplement. Now, some of them suck. I'm going to link you guys the one I use. I could probably find it back here. Yeah, check it out. I ain't sponsored, but I got omega-3s right there. I always keep my omega-3s on me. Speaking of that, I gotta take some still. But omega-3s is one thing, no matter what, you guys should have. Omega-3s boost all brain function. So it will make you play better no matter what. It'll make you focus better. Everything will be better. And speaking of brain function, there are very few supplements that have the same level of research as creatine, making it one of the best for putting on more muscle, better cognitive health, and in general, there's no reason not to take it. It's easy to take, and all you have to do is either add it to your water or take a pill. And there are two other supplements that I take that are actually sitting right behind me. They're perfect for focus. I only use these about 3 times a week because if you don't know, if you take a supplement a ton, it kind of wears off. It doesn't have as much effect as it normally would. So you kind of want to stop taking it, cycle it on and off, or every other day, or the days that you're really focusing. And one big thing is, for my aim or for whenever I have work to do, when I take this stuff, it's amazing. You can feel the difference. It's almost like you're dialed, you know, you're always dialed, or you're in the flow state for free. Now, those two supplements I use are Alpha GPC, which is great for brain health overall and focus. And if you have ADHD, it supports choline levels, which, long story short, ADHD brain, it helps ADHD, blah, blah, blah. I was diagnosed with ADD as a child, and yeah, if you've ever spent in like time with me at all, I don't shut up. I blurt stuff out. I stim a lot. Yeah, I'm bad. So if anyone knows how to get ADHD better, get Alpha GPC and something called L-tyrosine or L-tyrosine. Yeah, L-tyrosine, that's what it's called. Those two, great together. L-tyrosine is also in seeds and nuts, but I mean, we play video games. We don't, come on. We're not eating no seeds and nuts. Hold on, guys. Let me get my trail mix. I mean, no shade to trail mix, but I don't really... Y'all not eating trail mix. Y'all getting Doritos. All right? Let's be so real. Okay. Now, Andrew Huberman said something about taking them with garlic because I don't remember. I don't know why. I don't remember why. Who cares? Garlic is like $5. Less than that for a huge container. You want to see the bottle? That's odorless garlic. That whole thing. Wait. You guys can't see it. Odorless garlic. W garlic for real. I just take it with them. I don't remember why, but I know it's good for you, so just take it with it. It's like $5. When I'm a famous YouTuber, I'll get you guys discount codes. But those two together help with focus. They help with ADHD, and the greatest king of ADHD, caffeine. The reason why is caffeine basically boosts your dopamine. And if you don't know, the reason why people have ADHD, the difference between us and normal people is there's a certain lack of dopamine in our brains. And that's what stimming is for and things like that, if you know what that is. But caffeine, it will boost our dopamine. It'll put us at baseline almost. It'll put us at a normal, quote unquote, normal feeling body. Now, if you're going to take caffeine, for all the people that want to start, I'm currently... because I've been grinding on YouTube so hard, I am unreasonably addicted to caffeine. Okay? I can cycle off. The diminishing returns of cycling off of caffeine right now would ruin me because I'm trying to get as much YouTube as I can done. So don't get addicted to caffeine. But I am, and I'm going to tell you how not to be. If you don't know, caffeine's basically a blood thinner. It thins out your veins. So what happens is when you thin out your veins, when you take caffeine, the next morning, sometimes you guys will realize you get withdrawal symptoms. You'll get headaches and things like that. The reason why is the veins shrunk in your brain, and then it's expanding. Now it's pushing at the front of your brain, and you can feel that headache afterwards. And the best way to stop that is hydration. Now, not just normal hydration. What I do is I get iodized salt, maybe a little magnesium supplement, or just buy hydration sticks online if there's a good brand on it. And you have a cup of water the next day instead of coffee. What that'll do is it'll saturate your veins, and they won't expand as much as quickly and won't cause the pain basically in your head. So what I do is I cycle on and off of caffeine, or I used to. I'd have caffeine one morning, maybe 100, 200 milligrams. The next day, I wouldn't have any. I would just have water, magnesium supplements, some salt, and I was good. No more headaches. Another reason that I hear people don't like caffeine is because of that notorious afternoon crash. But with a little bit of research on the way caffeine works, I've been able to never have afternoon crashes. And the way I do it is waiting about 90 minutes to 2 hours after I wake up before I have any caffeine. This slight delay in your caffeine intake will make it so you feel completely different throughout the day, and you completely skip that afternoon crash. But just make sure you don't take it too close before bed, because remember, sleep is more important than everything else. And now finally, aim training. There's only a few things about aim training, but at the end of this, I'll teach you the best playlist if you have unlimited time. Now first, if you're aim training, it doesn't matter what skill level you're at. This works for every single player. Unless you're so good there's no challenge in life, but calm down, Maddie. All right, I know you watched my last video. I love you, Matt. Oh yeah, quick note. Maddie Overwatch watched my video. Let's go. That was so cool. You guys have no clue. I saw him comment on it. I was losing my mind. I was like, oh my God, I'm famous. Yeah, I don't know if he'll watch this because, I mean, why would he care about this? The other topic I talked about was more, it was more mainstream, so it'd make more sense if he watched that. But this would be very odd for him to watch. Maybe he's a intelligence enthusiast like me. Maybe he just like learning things, so he just kind of listens to other people. Maybe he just wants to see what he can learn and what he can absorb from other people. I love doing that. That's one favorite thing of mine. I love listening to other people, even if they're, I don't know, some people. I've even met a few in my Discord. I think it's a bad thing to look at people like you're above them or you're better than them, regardless of rank or things like that. Too many people look down on someone else because, oh, well, you're bad, so I'm a higher rank than you, or I'm done this instead of you. It's like, there's so much to learn from everybody, you know? Maddie might watch this and he might say, oh my God, look, L-Tyrosine, Alpha GPC. Let me go buy some of that. And then he goes wins another tournament, you know? But you can't learn things from other people if you believe that you're the smartest or you're the best. You have to accept that even when you're at the top, there are people smarter than you. There are people smarter than Einstein. There are people smarter than everybody. Even Elon Musk, there are people smarter than him. But if you always look at things like, because I'm at a higher status than you or higher position, you'll never learn anything. There's nothing you'll be able to learn from anyone else because you don't open your mind up to it. Anyways, I'm rambling. Aim training. If you want to aim train and you want the best results, take whatever skill level you're at. Now, the best way I do this is Voltaic benchmarks. Voltaic has benchmarks which shows you your rank, basically, based off of their own benchmarks that they created. Now, what I do is, let's say I'm Diamond. So I take my rank and I usually go to a routine that I would find as 2 levels harder than me. Or if you don't want to do benchmarks, the best thing I found is go play a map that you like, and if you notice that you're not as good at it as you are other maps, or if you just want to practice that skill, look it up again. Now, this usually works best for Kovacs, so if you're an Aim Labs user, I'm learning, okay? So join the Discord. I'll update everything. I'll give you guys Aim Labs routines, all of that. But right now, I'm not the most knowledgeable on Aim Labs. But you look up the routine name. Let's say it's Fugala XYZ. You look it up and you go to one that whenever you play it, it stresses you out. It should make you angry to play, but it shouldn't make you angry enough to throw your computer. It should make you angry enough to improve. It should stress you out a little bit. And as I mentioned earlier, stress is important. You need stress for focus and you need stress to learn things. So you guys should get stressed out by this routine. Choose a map that stresses you out. I usually aim for maps that I get less than like 40% accuracy because I've noticed that that's about the cutoff for really good improvement for me personally. Now, since everyone's different, I recommend you experiment with it, but a good baseline to start with is increase difficulty for a map you're playing. I'm mostly talking about tracking maps, but you want to go to a map that you have less than 40% accuracy, ideally closer to 20%, and work your way up to 40%, and then get to a harder scenario. And I recommend you just keep doing that. Now, unfortunately, most people ask about, oh, what's the best way to aim train? What's the best way to do this? And I'll give you the best routine, in my opinion, for someone who just wants to get as good as possible. But if you're not trying to get as good as possible, if you're just trying to improve at a normal rate, or if you just want to get better, the best way is by playing. There is no magic routine. There isn't any magic answer. The point of this video is to teach you all the things you need to know to maximize your improvement. This video isn't to tell you that, oh, if you do this method, all of a sudden you're perfect. Just not true, you know? There's something that works for everyone. And if you're at the lower echelon of gameplay, like if you're not, even me, I'm only Voltaic Masters, and I'm climbing back up to it right now. Even if you're below Voltaic Grandmaster, a lot of it, and even above, you just play. If you just play more, like if I did only one wall 6 targets every single day with decent intention behind my gameplay, eventually I would hit 1300 score, which, by the way, I'm 2 off. But this is how it works. You just have to keep playing. It's like most skills. You're not going to get better at guitar by not playing guitar. You're not going to get better at learning guitar by looking up how to play guitar, best method. It's not going to work. You got to play the guitar to get better at playing guitar. But I believe that struggling by giving yourself hard scenarios that you can barely handle is the best way to improve in a time-efficient manner. So if you're pressed for time and you only want to get better at tracking, do really hard tracking maps. That's it. Now, for everyone who wants the perfect routine, in my opinion, is low gravity 56's voltaic daily improvement. If you don't know what that is, there'll be a link in the description and in my Discord. I hope you guys learned something from this video, and if you did, please subscribe. If you enjoy listening to me talk, check out the rest of my Yap sessions over here. Have a good one, everyone. God bless you.